Good evening. I'd like to call to order this regular meeting of the Round Lake Area Board of Education on December 15th, 2025 at 6:58 p.m. in the Round Lake High School Media Center. If I can get started first with a roll call, please.
Mr. De Vera?
Here.
Mrs. Negretti McGinley?
Yes, here.
Mr. Jewett?
Here.
Mrs. Larson?
Here.
Mr. Francisco?
Here.
Miss Lee?
Here.
Mrs. Klingler?
Here.
First up is Pledge of Allegiance.
For which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If we can start with a motion to approve the meeting agenda as listed.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Larson, seconded by Ms. Lee. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Negretti McGinley?
Yes.
Mr. Francisco?
Yes.
Mrs. Klingler?
Yes.
Mr. De Vera?
Yes.
Mrs. Larson?
Yes.
Miss Lee?
Yes.
Mr. Jewett?
Yeah.
Motion carries. We have an approved meeting agenda. And first up on that is special recognition and presentations. And for first there is the Round Lake High School Chess Team Conference Championship. Mr. Peterson.
Good evening, everybody. It is an honor of mine to share with you the success of our chess team. Over the past couple of years, we've had great success as a team and as a program, and this year is on the same level. This year we were conference champs, and I'd like to present to you Mr. Mr. Nick Miller to share some of the successes of his team this year.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Before we begin, I want to thank you guys for recognizing the chess team this evening. It means a great deal to us. I would also like the time to introduce our wonderful team, some of which could be here today, some of which are still at home. Freshman Solomon Sandoval, freshman Michael Jukums, Alejandro Juarez, Nathan Arana, Brian Galindo Dominguez, sophomores Angel Trujillo, Angel Rivas Cruz, and Max Christ, juniors Javen Guo, Eric Garcia, and Lita Plunkett, and of course our two graduating seniors, our team captain Emily Vargas, as well as senior Josh O'Connor. This season has been filled with some hard-fought games that our students conquered time and time again. One of our greatest victories this season so far came from the NLCC Conference Tournament, where we took home the trophy for first place. We also scored many individual wins. In fact, just this last weekend, when competing in the Huntley Red Raider tournament, freshman Nathan Arana and junior Eric Garcia went undefeated at their boards, both receiving a medal for their achievement. We could not be more proud of what this team has accomplished. While their chess has been played at an incredibly high level, we were able to show how strong Round Lake truly is in scholastic chess, but many of the things we should be most proud of this team stretch beyond the game itself. Throughout this season, I've seen each of these students shine through their own commitment in their academics, the respect that they showed for each of their opponents, and their endless support for one another. Their work exemplifies what pride is to our school and community. I know we're all incredibly proud of them and their accomplishments, and we take pride in the character and maturity that they have shown, for they have embodied precisely what we strive to instill in our student body. So on behalf of the Round Lake Chess Team, thank you so much again for recognizing their incredible work, and of course wish us luck as we move on to sectionals and hopefully the state championship.
When is sectionals for the chess team?
All right, next up is the Lake County Tech Campus Students of the Quarter. Mr. Peterson again.
All right, thank you again. Lake County Tech Campus recognizes students each quarter for their individual achievements in their respective programs. And this year, or this quarter, Round Lake, it was 7 different students nominated for Student of the Quarter. So I'm going to bring the students up. If you guys can come up, please. This quarter, we had 7 different students who were recognized for their achievements at Tech Campus. So those students are Yesling Ambries for early education and teaching, Annette Alcantar for cosmetology 2, Leonardo Vilches for construction skills and management, Arturo Leon Reyes, construction skills and management as well, Nevea Lopez, medical assisting, Enrique Alejandre for welding and fabrication 1, and Nayeli Salgado for medical assistant. So we really do appreciate all that you do to support our students at Tech Campus, and they're doing a fantastic job, and over the years have been nominated for various awards in their achievements. So once again, thank you to you, and thank you to all our students for all the hard work that they've put in this year.
I do want to thank the board for the investment you make in Tech Campus. Just want to let the community know that that's a sizable investment that you make because it's a tuition-based program. We send roughly 200 students there a year. And I think overall net students, we're the 3rd largest sender in the county. And as it relates to percentage of our student enrollment, we're like 1 or 2. So we just appreciate it. I serve on that executive board. And it's just amazing some of the opportunities that our kids are provided with. So I want to thank the school board.
All right, next up on the communications to the board is the BPAC update. Oh, there he is. He was hiding in the back.
We didn't see you.
Yeah. Mr. Grafaldo, thank you.
Well, thank you. Just to be on the safe side, I'm not the president of BPAC. I'm just a parent and a member of BPAC, okay? So the reason that I'm coming is because I guess the president is not available. So I'm representing BPAC, and we as parents, we continue to learn how to support our children. This month we learn about multiple intelligence. How children learn differently, and that's also helping me out with my kids too. Now I can understand the difference of the 3 different kids that I have at home. Also how to motivate them and how to reward them differently. That's the effort that happen at school and also happening at home. Also, we continue talking about the importance of limits, like the use of cell phones. Also, supervising students while they're using their phones, tablets, and computers. Technology continues to be one of the hardest challenges for parents, and that's including different ages of parents, not just myself, even younger parents. Now technology is absorbing everything on our kids. Also, we continue to emphasize the importance of attendance. And that's also have to be included to have kids at least sleep 8 hours of sleep. And one of the biggest challenges, again, cell phones. Just by the other day, my wife came in to pick up my son for a dentist appointment. And one of the issues, there was another mama waiting for I guess she was supposed to talk to the principal because the teenager, he didn't get up early for school. And my wife, she tended to say, well, maybe if you take up her cell phone away at night, it will be better. And I mean, parents, they take it like we're pulling out something out of your kids. They didn't born with a cell phone. I mean, we live okay without cell phones. We didn't have cell phones when we went to school. That's one of the things that I'm trying to help new parents understand. We don't need technology so early for our kids. And that's one of the things that BPAC is working on really hard to help our parents and just to let parents know that our seminars right now we're doing them online so they can actually zoom in and watch the videos. You don't have to get up from your house. But please, parents, watch those videos. They're really important for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gafaldo. All right, next up is the CEDAW Governing Board recap, and that would be Mr. Jewett.
All right, thank you. So in the notes for the recap is the SIP report and then also the agenda notes. So to get more detail, you can reference those if you haven't already. But some of the highlights in terms of the SIP, there were 4 goals that were reviewed and updated on the goals. The 3 I'm going to pull out: establish an effective, equitable financial structure. And one of the things that was reviewed and that is going to continue to be worked on is the CEDAW staffing model. So we'll discuss a little bit later, or I'll point out a little bit later that one of the areas of opportunity is actually the staffing at CEDAW. And so they're working on adjusting that model and kind of right-sizing it. Advancing the high standards, goal 3, which is advancing the high standards, and that is they're discussing a new IEP procedure manual that the committee put together. And so that was something that was reviewed at our meeting, and then, or at least touched on, not really reviewed at the meeting. And then also the goal 4, which is advance effective collaborative team practices, and that they shared with us the communication tool that they're working on, which is developing building and program brochures. And then they shared all those with us at the meeting. And then also the CEDAW Foundation. That's another thing that gets highlighted at each of kind of like the updates is the impact of the CEDAW Foundation. And so far this half of the year, 25-26, the CEDAW Foundation has contributed $300,000 to the CEDAW programs, which is pretty impressive. I know, right? Also voted and approved the new superintendent. So now CEDAW has a new superintendent, Dr. Jennifer Thomas, and that's going to be effective in July 1st of 2026. Also, there's a new restructured tuition model, and so thank you. Where is she? Thank you, Sharon, so much for going over that, because I would have been lost if it wasn't for our talk before. And so if you want to go into a lot of details, please talk to me later or talk to Sharon. But so here's how I understand it. The tuition is going to be based on 3 categories: direct cost, indirect cost, and then administration. And the percentage could be broken down in a bunch of different ways. And so the goal was those schools that are using CETL the most contribute the most towards the education, and not just in the direct and indirect, but actually more in administrative costs. And that's where the big piece was. And so it's 25% of the tuition is based on direct, 25 indirect, and 50% was on administrative costs. That's where it landed, to try to make it as fair as possible. And that was approved by our board and approved by the governing board, approved by the administrative board, and also approved by the, there was a whole advisory committee, steering committee, yada, yada, yada. The new part is more about the pulling out the administration costs. Also, there is a budget amendment. Needed to make a budget amendment because there is a $2.5 million deficit in expenditures versus revenues in the education fund. And there was a list of why those areas were. One of the areas is the cost of contract agency staffing, the funding of capital projects, the historical accounting errors, which we've talked about before. And then also, some of it's that the actual student enrollment was lower than the projected student enrollment. So for instance, there was an estimated 529 students, but there was only 493. That's gotta be a difficult target to hit, because you have to forecast that every year. And 30 students is not that many students, in the big scheme of things, but it makes a big difference. So that's part of where those staffing models are coming from and why they're looking at those. And there's the executive board, the finance committee, and the advisory committee are still working on additional ways to mitigate the gap. And then there's some CETL Foundation stuff and some celebration stuff, and we left. This concludes my update. Any questions?
Any questions?
Oh, by the way, there will be, so in April, I had great notes that I left at home. April will be, I think, when they're gonna forecast the tuitions.
I do have one question. The new superintendent for CETL, where is she from?
Carrie, District 26, she's the interim superintendent.
Will there be opportunity for other districts to meet the superintendent for CETL?
It's a secret.
Secret,
There will
okay.
be no opportunity. Yes, of course. There wasn't explicitly named when or where we'd be able to do that. She wasn't able to actually be at the meeting, and so she sent a video, so sorry I couldn't be there, But my assumption is, just like CETL is open for tours, I'm sure there's gonna be a,
I'll make sure I get that to the executive board.
Okay, yeah, I think, again, a changing of the guard, if you will. Again, the boards who send their students, it's nice to know who we're sending our students to.
actually, I've got a question. I didn't ask the question, but I know that I believe that there's supposed to be an overlap between the interim superintendents and the new. Do you know how long that overlap is?
I don't, but I concur with what you're saying. I think that once the interims contracts are done at June 30th, but what we might do is coordinate and like a monthly contract over past June, so there can be some training involved. So I'll actually get that to you, Mr. Jewett. I'll talk to the executive board.
Any additional questions? Hearing none, again, thank you very much. And next we will transition to the strategic plan monthly update, the December guidepost.
No formal verbal update other than to say we provided highlights for you on various strategies and themes. In January we'll provide, for example, a verbal mid-year update. But just want to reiterate, we work the plan guides our decisions, we continue to make progress. But the backup information is there for your review.
Any questions from the board on what was posted? I'm going to assume that's a no. All right. Then hearing no additional conversation there, we'll move on to the disposal list. Dr. King posted online. Any questions in regards to the disposal materials list? All right, next up is the review of the FOIA report. Any questions in regards to the FOIA report as listed? Hearing none there, we'll go to review contracts under 1,000. We did not have any, which will now take us to public comment. As always, members of the public may participate in public comment during regular board meetings by attending in person or by submitting an electronic public comment form. Please note that speakers are limited to 3 minutes. Electronic public comments are accepted up until noon on the day of the regularly scheduled meeting, and the public commenter is contacted to confirm identity. Once confirmed, the electronic public comment is provided to all board members in written form. A link to the electronic public comment form is online. We did have electronic public comment, which was delivered to board emails, so everyone thank you there. And local public comment.
Tricia Snyder. Good evening. My name is Tricia Schneider. I'm a district parent. First, I would like to say once again to please review reading those electronic comments out loud. I think that's really important for everyone to be aware of. But this is actually in regards to, I hate public speaking, sorry. New business, I saw that there's an authorization for approval for an additional law firm. Doing this so quickly after laying off a large number of caring and dedicated teachers, quite frankly, feels really icky. I'm questioning the timing of it. I'm wondering how common it is for school districts to contract multiple law firms, how much this is needed. You're doing this large reduction of force and yet you want to hire more lawyers? It feels really odd. I'll just leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'll actually be able to address that directly with the board when we get to that item. Okay?
All right, and we have no additional public comment, so that will transition us to the superintendent's report and Dr. Mendoza.
The district continues to evaluate opportunities to reduce reliance on outsourced special transportation routes as part of its broader commitment to fiscal responsibility and operational efficiency. As part of this ongoing assessment and support by current staffing capacity, the district anticipates bringing approximately 6.5 outsourced routes back in-house beginning January of 2026. These changes are expected to generate an estimated annual cost savings of approximately $330,000. The transportation and special education teams are working closely together to review additional routes and identify further opportunities to provide high-quality, cost-effective transportation services using district resources. Below is a list of recent donations received by our district and schools. Each donor will receive a letter of thanks from my office. Barrington Smiles toothbrushes donated to Murphy Elementary. Walmart of Round Lake Beach, $50 gift card to John T. McGee Middle School Families Giving Tree. And the Schweitzer Engineering Laboratories, $100 to Murphy Elementary Activities. And that concludes the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Dr. Mendoza. Any questions for Dr. Mendoza on the superintendent's report? Hearing none, we will now transition to committee reports, and our finance committee met this evening. Mr. Rodriguez.
Thank you. Yes, finance met earlier, so just a few things on the agenda. First, we have the Incident IQ multi-year contract that they brought forward to finance that will come to the board at the next board meeting next year, January 12th. This is, it's called Incident IQ. This is to replace multiple systems that we have here in the district, such as our Fix-It ticket system, kind of like Google for forms, to replace a multitude of systems. We did spend quite a few hours going over this as far as the contract, asking about the export and import of data if transitioning to systems, support from Incident IQ, you know, again, if we're looking this for events and for assets and facilities, we do obviously have programs in place, but Incident IQ comes with a better management tool for the district that we could use. You'll see if you look in the finance packet, talks about we have FreshWorks. These are the formal names for these software programs. FreshWorks, Brightly informs approval. Our current cost is $82,000. If we move to Incident IQ, it would be a cost of about $39,000, a little under $40,000, which would give us a savings of $42,000. So again, as we look to get better platforms in the district and reduce cost, that's why they brought Incident IQ forward. So as I mentioned, the elimination of these systems and what we would bring in-house. Again, we've talked about implementation and transfer of data, historical data, because again, the board still asks for reports off like our service level agreements for Fix-It. When a teacher puts in a request, we do monitor that. So again, we want to make sure that historical data would carry over to this. Standard operating procedures, training, any certifications as it relates to this. They also did talk to districts who are currently using this platform, and they've received all positive feedback. Again, this would be an integrated platform. Currently what we're using is not integrated. There's this platform. So again, this would be more integrated. So this will come back on January 12th. Again, the feedback from finance was so that when they bring this to the board, they touch on all those. Because again, when bringing in a new platform into the district, it's going to touch a multitude of things and a multitude of people. We want to make sure we address all those concerns. A lot of it is addressed in the packet, and you'll see those attachments. And there's a chart again into what we're currently paying for the systems we use versus what Incident IQ would bring. But it'll be quite a comprehensive presentation that'll come forward in January. Next on the agenda is the new copier lease that will be coming forward in just a little bit. So I'll highlight on that when Mr. Kozak comes forward. Adelante Educational Specialist Group. Again, this will come forward next month. This is a continuation of a contract we a few years ago, they brought forward Adelante Education for our bilingual group in support for our middle school. So they're wanting to extend it. They've had positive and great feedback from our staff in regards to this program. It is through grant funds, so they're asking to extend that contract. Extended contract with Catalyst for Education Change. Dr. Sharon Jacob Ellis brought this forward. Again, this will also be funded through our Ill Empower School Grant. Again, this is for our special education students. Again, support for our special education students, and that'll come back in January. Next, we had exploring for the purchase of 2 minivans for the district. If you recall, the district had purchased 2 activity buses with intended use that, excuse me, within the district. Mr. DeVere's question was pretty frank, and why are we not using our activity buses for this? Unfortunately, due to transportation law, we cannot use our activity buses for some routes we're wanting to bring back. Also, some of it is just the restriction in where some of these students are located. The buses can't get in to make that turn, depending on where our students live. So we're wanting to sell the activity buses. Hopefully it would be a wash with the purchase of 2 minivans. They would bring back some of these routes, which could give us a potential, bringing back these routes, savings of quite a few dollars in those routes, and they're looking at doing more, but 3 routes at approximately $47,000 each annually in bringing that route, and we wouldn't have to hire any more bus drivers. So please know that was another question. Again, if we add these routes in-house, do we need to hire more bus drivers? They could absorb that with our current bus drivers. These would just be additional routes. Again, we would take these back from Top Line. That's who currently services these students' routes, is Top Line. We bring that in-house. The other question is, what kind of notification do we need to let Top Line know? what does that contract look like? We would just need to let them know. But again, we're looking at purchasing gently used minivans or new. As we come into a new year, we know some of those models decrease in value. So again, looking in-house and how we can bring these things back in-house and save money, and also servicing our students directly. It gives us more control. And then we have a revised levy resolution. This will again also be later on in the board packet as well. Ms. Amesville will speak to this, but it's just to delineate in what was submitted to the county. And then of course you have the treasurer's report and accounts payable summary. Any questions?
Yeah, so you said there weren't any additional, so there's additional routes come back, but no additional bus drivers.
Correct.
Is that because there's just space in the amount of hours, and so it just goes to?
Because they're just door-to-door transports, so yeah, they would be absorbed within the current schedule. Unless, is Mr. Garcia?
We have our 7 hired on sub bus drivers, so being able to work their schedule in a particular manner would allow them to pick up these routes. And we are, with the exception of one driver, we're fully staffed at this point in time.
Got it. So it would be something like driver would work 14 hours now and works 19 hours later. Is that what that looks like? Or how do you just
No.
magically add a route in and don't add people?
They've had different responsibilities throughout the day. As a sub bus driver, they may be assigned to a route, but they may be doing other types of tasks as transportation staff members. So the assignment of a route or routes and the fact that we are fully staffed essentially at this point in time allows us to do this. It's been a long time since we've been fully staffed at 53.
It's going to come back, so we can maybe we can get some pictures. Some more graphics.
Flow charts. All right, hearing no additional questions, thank you very much. And that will take us to approval of open meeting minutes.
I need a motion to approve the December 8th, 2025 regular board meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Lee, seconded by Mr. Jewett. Hearing no additional conversation, roll call please.
Mrs. Negrete McGinley,
Yes.
Mr. Francisco,
Yes.
Mrs. Klingler,
Yes.
Mr. Jewett,
Yeah.
Miss Lee,
Yes.
Mr. De Vera,
Yes.
Mrs. Larson,
Yes.
Motion carries.
I need a motion to approve the consent agenda for the following items. The accounts payable report for $1,886,209.16. The previous motion report for $853,540.55. The October 31st, 2025 Treasurer's Report. The November 2025 P-Card Report. The December 15th, 2025 Employment Report.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Klingler, seconded by Mr. Jewett. Roll call please.
Mr. De Vera,
Yes.
Mr. Jewett,
Yeah.
Miss Lee,
Yes.
Mrs. Negrete McGinley,
Yes.
Mr. Francisco,
Yes.
Mrs. Larson,
Yes.
Mrs. Klingler,
Yes.
Motion carries. And that will bring us to old business. And first up on that is recap and the Six Flags Senior Grad Bash.
Earlier in the year, I had an opportunity to bring this proposal for your consideration, and in my absence, thank you, Ms. Bennett, for sharing with you for approval. Before I ask for your approval for the Six Flags Grad Bash, I know there were a few questions. The first question was related to the security staffing at Six Flags, considering that it's early in the year for them to be open. They'll be running a full staff of security as they would in any of the summer months, which would provide adequate supervision for our students. The other question was, we are putting a cap at 200 students. What happens if we go over 200 students for this event? So there's two ways we can approach this. The first one is that Six Flags allows up to 3 weeks prior to the event to change your your reservation of how many students. So if we had a smaller number of students who were there and we could accommodate with the supervision we have, we would just adjust that number and we would be able to provide an opportunity for those students. In the event that we have an extremely large number of students, the one thing that this is a volunteer staffing for us, for anyone who attends as chaperones, would be on a volunteer basis. If we were not able to secure enough chaperones for that, we would create like a lottery system for those students, where if one person backed out of it, we would be able to have a group of students who could have an opportunity to be a part of that. So we would try to accommodate as many students as we possibly could in the event and still provide adequate supervision for our students, for our chaperones.
Brian, what's the ratio of chaperone to
It's
student?
25-1 is what is
So
required.
what I heard you say though is theoretically, if we had enough chaperones, we could send 400.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We can adjust those numbers up to 3 weeks prior to the event, and we talked to Six Flags already about that.
So if you were in a situation where you had 350 students, and you only had a certain amount of staff members, would you reach out to parents as chaperones?
Yes, we could potentially do that as long as we run them through our vetting process that we would for any chaperone with the background checks. That would be a possibility. And Miss Lee, I could possibly see you be interested in something like that.
I was gonna say, I don't really wanna, cause I've been there, but I would if it meant that students could go.
And I don't think you're gonna have a problem because we would get enough administrators to help. I love Six Flags, so I'm in. So,
Yeah, I think if we had that big of a turnout for students, we would have plenty of people who would be willing to help. It's just that in the event that we don't have the adult supervision that we need, we do want to create an opportunity to fill those spaces, but do it in an equitable manner. Are there any other questions regarding this proposal?
I think it'd be nice to, if we can get a report back on how many students actually went. And, because I just would like to know, let's just say you have, what was it, 500 or 600 seniors?
500, right around 500.
So let's say all 500 seniors came and said, yes, we all want to go, but we could only send 300, because maybe we need to have different conversations for next year.
I couldn't agree more. We can do that, absolutely.
Okay.
Any additional questions? Hearing none.
All right. I need a motion to approve the Round Lake High School class of 2026 Six Flags Grad Bash overnight field trip on May 9th, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Larson, seconded by Ms. Lee. Hearing no additional conversation, roll call please.
Mr. Jewett?
Yeah.
Ms. Lee?
Yes.
Mrs. Negretti McGinley?
Yes.
Mrs. Klingler?
I'll find you people, don't even worry about it. So, yes.
Mr. De Vera?
Yes.
Mr. Francisco?
Yes.
Mrs. Larson?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. I think this is a great opportunity and new, exciting for our kids. Thank you.
All right, next up is the revised levy resolution.
Good evening. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to bring forward a revised levy resolution. As you recall, at the last board meeting, we adopted our levy. This resolution, the only change between the last meeting and this meeting is it delineates out our health, life, safety, which we realized needed to be done with the filing of the certificate. So none of our levy figures have changed. Nothing has changed in those regards. We just added to the resolution a delineation for our health, life, safety fund. So that's the only change, and we're requesting that the board adopt the resolution and allow it to be filed with the county.
And as mentioned in the finance report, it's literally exactly what I said, just to delineate, unless there's any questions. All right, I need a motion to adopt the revised resolution to adopt tax levy and file a certificate of tax levy for the levy year 2025, including the statutory levy for the fire prevention and safety purposes, and authorize the president and secretary to execute all associated filings with the Lake County clerk.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Jewett, seconded by Mrs. Klingler. Roll call please.
Mr. De Vera?
Yes.
Mrs. Negretti McGinley?
Yes.
Mr. Jewett?
Yeah.
Mrs. Larson?
Yes.
Mr. Francisco?
Yes.
Ms. Lee?
Yes.
Mrs. Klingler?
Yes.
Motion carries. And that will take us to new business. And first up on that is Mr. Kozick and new copier lease and print minutes.
Good evening. Tonight, administration has 2 agreements for your review and approval. In partnership with the business office, we have a copier lease agreement as well as a print maintenance agreement. Our copier fleet entered into its 7th year earlier this year. Our current copiers originally rolled out in August of 2019 with an expected lifespan of 5 years. Due to little to no usage during COVID, we were able to extend the life of the current copiers 18 months and enter into an 18-month extension in the summer of 24. The current maintenance agreement expires on January 31st, 2026. The 5-year lease agreement will cover the cost of the new machines, and the $67,000 annual lease payment will be funded from the debt service fund using available interest earnings over those 5 years. Once all the lease payments have been made, the copiers are owned by the district. The 5-year print maintenance agreement has a cost of $5,395 a month and will be funded from the technology department budget and represents a savings from the current $7,100 a month we spend on the current fleet maintenance agreement. In essence, newer machines cost less to maintain. We expect these new machines to have an average or expected lifespan of 5 years based on anticipated usage as well. Should these agreements be approved tonight, we expect to be able to roll out the new machines over the month of January in time before the current agreement expires. These agreements were presented and reviewed at tonight's Finance Committee meeting as well. Any questions?
Just to, as Mr. Kozick said, this was reviewed at Finance. And again, some of the questions, of course, is asking, as we look to bring in a new fleet of copiers and printers. And again, every building has different needs, but again, making sure we're meeting the needs, but we don't have an excess of printers or copiers as well. And that has been done. Additionally, as you heard Mr. Kozick say, this will come out of a different bucket or fund this time around. Interest income monies is what we're using to support the cost of this lease. Now, as we all know, that interest income can fluctuate each year. So right now, there's enough that we have and can project, but of course, again, that can vary. Should those funds be a little short, we would just take it then out of the budget, education budget to do this. But currently, we're going to be using interest income. I just want to make sure the board is aware that this is a 5-year agreement. So again, should that any of those years fall short, that's how we would handle that. And then the implementation timeline, I apologize, did you cover that?
We expect, assuming it's approved tonight, we expect to be able to procure the equipment before the end of the calendar year. It'll take time to set up, configure, and then roll out over the month of January to our buildings.
And then finance just asked to make sure we have a communication that goes out to the staff so that they're aware when they come back. Hopefully they have brand new shiny copiers and printers. But again, we just want to make sure staff is aware. That's it from finance.
Any additional questions? Hearing none.
All right, I need a motion to approve the 5-year lease agreement and 5-year print maintenance agreement in the amount of $132,466.73.
So
Second.
Motion by Mr. Jewett, seconded by Mrs. Klingler. Hearing no additional conversation, roll call please.
Miss Lee,
Yes.
Mr. Jewett,
yeah,
Mrs. Klingler,
Yes.
Mr. DeVera,
Yes.
Mrs. Larson,
Yes.
Mrs. Negrete McGinley,
Yes.
Mr. Francisco.
Yes. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Next up is the authorization for approval for the additional law firm, Dr. Mendoza.
Yeah, so the administration is respectfully requesting that the school board approve a second law firm to handle various legal matters when necessary. These legal matters, using a second law firm, will give the district increased flexibility and the ability to respond to emerging or urgent issues in a timely manner. Using a second law firm will help us secure access to specialized services expertise, timely support, and legal guidance in a timely manner. It really just gives us increased flexibility in unique situations. Periods of time during the year, certain times than others, there's very high demand. And using a second law firm will ensure that we received prompt, well-informed legal counsel. In response to the very thoughtful public comment tonight, the purpose is not to expand the use of legal services, thus increasing the legal bill we receive, but rather using a second law firm in unique situations in lieu of our primary law firm. We deal with legal issues on a regular basis. They include, but are not limited to, human resource issues, school finance, operations, contracts, special education, personnel matters, municipal law, etc. It is not uncommon for school districts to use multiple law firms. Generally, what happens is most school districts have a primary, which we still do, and the use of a second law firm will only be for unique situations or in situations where the second law firm provides a unique specialty in a certain area. The best example I can give of that is the way that many districts, including Round Lake, use multiple architects. Some architects are better with new construction. Some architects are better with renovations. Some architects are better with athletic fields. So, and we've done this, we spread the work out, we use multiple law firm or architect firms based on the unique jobs we have. So the goal is not to use multiple law firms we're not going to use multiple law firms in every situation. So if we use one, we wouldn't be using the other based on that unique situation. So I do not anticipate this is going to increase our cost. In fact, I believe it will decrease because the partner rate of the second law firm is actually less than the partner rate of our existing primary law firm. So, happy to answer any questions.
These are all pro bono, right? No retainers, correct?
Correct. The primary law firm, we do have a retainer, but the second law firm, we will not. So we will only be billed when we use them.
Can you remind me, does this law firm have a specialty?
Yes, the primary reason we wanted the services of the second law firm was primarily dealing with the special education area. They are widely regarded, in our humble opinion, as the top, maybe best in that area. And so we obviously want accurate, sound legal advice. So in those cases, we wouldn't call both law firms and be double billed. We would call one over the other.
Thank you.
Any additional questions?
And what was the review time? Because I know that we had talked about, we're going to review to make sure that this plan is a good plan.
Yeah, we will provide incremental updates to the board, and we will come back quarterly and give you updates on how we think it's working.
And again, if it doesn't work, there's nothing, because again, we don't have a retainer.
There's nothing binding, and this is a use case. So in the end, if we find that this isn't beneficial, we can sever the relationship altogether.
Thank you.
All right, hearing no additional conversation.
Need a motion to approve Kira Buchek LLC as a law firm that is authorized to represent the board and the district relating to legal matters assigned by the board president, superintendent, or superintendent's designee.
So,
Second.
Motion by Mr. Jewett, seconded by Mrs. Klingler. Roll call, please.
Mr. De Vera,
Yes.
Mrs. Negretti McGinley,
Yes.
Mr. Jewett,
yep.
Mrs. Larson,
Yes.
Mr. Francisco,
Yes.
Miss Lee,
Yes.
Mrs. Klingler,
Yes.
Motion carries. And that will bring us to positive occurrences.
Okay, I can speak this week. So, I'm gonna go back 2 weekends to the Winter Spectacular, which is the last year that I will actually have a student in the Winter Spectacular. And I've had one since 2016, so there may have been some sobbing and maybe not. But again, what a wonderful performance. Again, every year these students put together such talented pieces of music, singing, instrumental, guard. And I just wanted to give a shout out to all the volunteers and the staff that helped put this together. It was another great show.
I wanted to comment on that as well because I wanted to highlight the staff. I mean, the kids did amazing, and the kids are always amazing, but the amount of effort and time that goes into planning that, the decorations, just the putting on of the show, the stress that the teachers feel, and I was so proud of them. I was so impressed with them. I thought it was amazing, and it really like brings our community together, and the kids did so well. It just shows how much the educators care about the kids, because it just comes through in all of their activities. So I just wanted to highlight it.
Again, I was at the Winter Spectacular as well. Again, always love this show. I know it's 10 years. I know you mentioned that last week as well, Mr. Francisco. So it's a great program, and it's nice to see community comes out to support.
All right, hearing no additional. Future agenda items.
I've got one. How do we get the mail-in or the electronic comments submitted so that they're read? How do we make that decision, or how do we do that?
You're going to have a board discussion about that. There's pros and cons that I think you're going to need to consider. You'll have to do it at the board table. And I actually don't think it's a vote. It's more of a consensus. We actually go above and beyond significantly what's required. But that'll be something you'll have to talk about as a school board at a future meeting.
Right. I think if we have electronic comments, I think she's right. We need to read them. So, well, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, you'll have
Yeah.
to talk about that as a board. So.
There's an agenda item. Absolutely.
In the future.
All right. Next up, I will need a motion to convene in closed session as permitted by statute 5 ILCS 120/2 for the purpose of discussing the following. Employment matters, 5 ILCS 120/2 C1.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Klingler, seconded by Mr. Jewett. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Klingler,
Yes.
Miss Lee,
Yes.
Mr. Francisco,
Yes.
Mrs. Larson,
Yes.
Mr. Jewett,
Yeah.
Mrs. Negretti McGinley,
Yes.
Mr. DeVera.
Just
Motion carries. That will take us to closed session. We will not have anything after closed session, so there'll be no open for this evening. So thank you everyone online and local. Our next meeting will be the 12th of January at 7 p.m. in 2026. So for everyone, happy holidays and a very happy new year.